Welcome to Prophecy News Update. I'm Tom Gilbreth. A quick word before we start. I support the police. Their thin blue line stands between civilization and the chaotic anarchy of rape, murder, and theft running wild in the streets. You don't want a situation where power belongs to the most brutal. For this reason, police are given special authority. They carry guns, they give orders, and we obey, or else. But because of their special authority, they must be held rigorously accountable to the civilization they protect. That said, let's get started. Imagine feeling stalked by a relentless, unfeeling, unreasoning, unfair, deadly, and insatiable enemy. You know the story of George Floyd. As police officers held him face down on the ground, handcuffed, his chest constricted so that every breath was a struggle, a knee in his neck. That's at least part of how he must have felt, like he was in the maw of, and totally vulnerable to, a relentless, unfeeling, unreasoning, unfair, and deadly enemy. We heard it in his voice as he pled for his life. Almost everyone who saw video of his death felt it too. What we felt was small compared to what he must have felt, but overwhelming nonetheless. Helplessness and rage against an unfair, unfeeling, nonsensical, and deadly oppressor. With respectful words and in respectful tones, he told them what was happening to him. He was dying. He knew he was dying. He told them so. Did he resist arrest? Not much. Video shows officers seeming to struggle to get him out of his car. None of the videos made public so far show him ever fighting with police. But when they were trying to put him in the back of the police car, he reportedly told them he couldn't get in there because he was claustrophobic. Now, I don't know if that really kept him out of the back of the police car, but I believe the visual evidence strongly supports his claim, and I think claustrophobia meant that the position he was about to be put in, handcuffed and held to the ground, caused extreme emotional trauma. Outside the police car, he fell to the ground, perhaps intentionally. Once down, 3 officers held him in place. One of them placed his knee in Mr. Floyd's neck. It stayed there for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. The officer kept his knee in place even after Mr. Floyd lost consciousness and for another full minute after the arrival of paramedics. Before he lost consciousness, as he lay handcuffed and in full submission to authorities, they conversed. Here are some excerpts. Floyd, groaning, says, about to die. Officer, relax. Floyd, I can't breathe. My face. Just get up. I can't breathe, please. Officer, well, get up and get in the car, man. Floyd, I will. Officer, get up and get in the car. Floyd, I can't move. Floyd showed signs of severe respiratory distress as he tried to pull air into his lungs while being held to the ground. The autopsy indicates that pressure was being exerted on his back. This restricted his ability to expand his lungs and get air into them. At the same time, the knee in his neck was restricting the flow of blood to his brain. Officer, just get up and get in the car. Floyd, Mama. Officer, get up and get in the car right. Floyd, I can't. Of course he can't. They're holding him down. He said he would do it, but they refused to let him do the very thing they were ordering him to do. Officer, you can't win. Floyd, groaning, laboring to pull air into his lungs. Officer, you can't win, man. No, he couldn't win. Not held in that position. Floyd, still struggling to breathe. My knee, my neck. My stomach hurts, my neck hurts, everything hurts. Get some water or something, please, please. Groans. I can't breathe, officer. A moment later, you're trying to kill me. Apparently addressing a bystander. They will kill me, man. The bystanders became increasingly vocal in asking the officers to get off of him and pointing out the obvious distress. Floyd, I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. Gonna kill me. Bystanders become more vocal. Floyd, they're killing me. Bystander, How long are y'all going to hold him down? Bystander. He's not even resisting arrest. Bystander. He's human, bro. Bystander. You're trapping his breathing, bro. You're stopping his breathing right there, bro. You could put him in the car right now. You're stopping his breathing. You think that's cool? During this exchange, Mr. Floyd becomes less and less responsive. Bystanders then point out that he has lost consciousness. Bystander. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bystanders ask the officers to check his pulse. Bystander. How do you call the police on another police? The helplessness and vulnerability of George Floyd as he lay on the ground being killed by those sworn to serve and protect him has become a symbol for millions of people across the world. It struck a chord partially because everyone can relate to it at some level. We all feel or have felt great vulnerability to something unfeeling, unreasoning, and unfair. A person or a group, an organization, a system, maybe a government. This universal feeling of vulnerability has been amplified in young African American men, partially because of what they have been taught about police, but also because of their own experiences with police. And yet a sense of vulnerability is not unique to African Americans. When Americans of any color see rioters coming down the street, they see those rioters as an unfeeling, unreasoning, unfair enemy coming to destroy them, their loved ones, and even threatening civilization itself. The Bible talks about lawlessness as a sign of the end times. We see it in the homicide of George Floyd, and we see it in the rioting, looting, and burning that followed. Ironically, the Bible also describes a totalitarian world state rising near the end of the age. Lawlessness in a police state may sound like a contradiction, but in reality, one leads to the other. First lawlessness, then a police state. Just this week, Beverly Hills set a 1 p.m. curfew for its business district and a citywide curfew of 4 p.m. They obviously never meant to arrest everyone who happened to be outside after 4 p.m. or in the business district after 1 p.m. A curfew is a tool in the hands of law enforcement. It allows them to arrest anyone they want without probable cause. I'm not saying they didn't have a good reason for this. I'm showing how lawlessness leads to an increase in police power and a decrease in human rights. The world doesn't really have an answer for racism, but the Bible does. Acts 17:26 says, "He has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth." In other words, we're family. And those who have come to Christ are doubly family. Galatians 3 says, "For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ." There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free man. There is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. 2,000 years ago, such words were revolutionary. And you know what? They still are revolutionary today. We're one family, and we need each other. Earlier, I said we all feel times of vulnerability, but we don't have to live there. This may sound simple, but it's the truest thing I can tell you. Turn it over to Jesus. Put yourself in His care. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind. Also, please don't let anything I've said or anyone else says exacerbate any feelings of anger you feel toward police or protesters. Remember to pray. Pray for everyone. Hey, you can see our webpage at tomgilbreth.com. And if you want to talk to me, you can do so through Prophecy News Update on Facebook. And please consider subscribing to Prophecy News Update on YouTube. We plan to skip doing a program next week and expect to present our next new program on June 18th. God willing, I'll see you then.